Well, our adventure begins with a trip out to the patio. So, that's today's weather. That's who? Oh yeah, there's lots of boats. Maybe there's some kind of fishing tournament or something going on and people just want to fish. You see a lot of those boats out there. Well, we're on our way to breakfast, so. Okay, here we go.
Off to the great unknown, boys.
So it's kind of a quaint little place. Galapagos, I've never been here.
It's a Galapagos.
Turn right now.
Hey, Portia, you don't have to be so demanding.
Now! Right now! Right now! Right now!
Now, now! So, we are on our
Yeah, I got
way.
them out right here. Like Google Maps said, our entry destination.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, right. Drive down
In
the
1
road.
mile, turn right onto the exit.
Is that the aforementioned crab avalanche?
Okay. Just a couple precursors.
Just the first.
There should be some bright orange paracord back there that you can tie to the Deb's
Strap it on
headrest, and that way, and hold on to the other end. If the crab avalanche happens, we should be able to find you.
Yeah.
Alright, here we go. So this is a replacement for the Silver Bridge.
Is it?
In 1/2 mile, turn right onto the
Hey.
next exit.
Well, maybe not. Maybe it's over that way. I don't know exactly.
There are many of them.
I do not know the history of this area. Hey, we're back in West Virginia. Can you believe that? Yeah, let's see. I don't want that
Two
one.
north.
I think we want this one.
Yes.
Although I don't know why it's north when it's actually west or east. Okay, let's check out all the signs. Mothman Museum, that way. That's where we're going.
That's where we're going. Big ass tub.
So we stayed the night at the Super 8 in Wyndham.
It's a baby deer.
Really?
But it's all pretty fun.
Mom's doing her thing.
Or maybe this is the bridge. I don't know.
I think this is supposed to be the
Replacement bridge. Because the original was, well, I don't know. When we was talking, the original was a suspension bridge, which is why it failed. You know, one cable snapped and let go.
Ours is on the
And it's
other
telling us to keep going straight, so get over here.
This is a cute little downtown.
Could have been down here last night, but I was just, ugh.
Wiggly wiggly.
So there's the Sushi Hibachi Chinese place. Ichiban. Ichiban. Little Caesars. I don't know, Little Caesars is like White Castle. You just don't want to do those before going into Orleans. Looks like a left turn at the light.
In 1/10 of a mile, turn left onto 5th Street.
I miss it?
No.
Porsche, you've got to do a better job of saying, turn, you idiot!
In 1/10 of a mile, turn left onto 7th Street.
Yeah, it was the last one that wanted us to turn on. I just saw the light and figured it was taking us to the one. A lot of these places, you know, it's one-way
Yeah.
streets.
Turn left now.
Now the question becomes, is there parking? Or is it just curbside?
Your destination is ahead on the left.
That looks like Joe's truck.
There's Bigfoot stickers and shit on it. Arctic.
That's the Low Hotel. It's too tight for this thing.
You have arrived at your destination on the left.
Yep. And there's our movie gallery. Okay.
So we parked the truck, and Deb, Jen, and I made our way down towards the center of Point Pleasant, heading down towards past the historic Low Hotel, which is rumored to be haunted, towards the Mothman Museum. And as we walked down the street, we passed Bunker 304, which is one of many shops. Well, there's only 3 shops really right there, towards the Mothman phenomenon. And of course, you know, I had to take pictures because, you know, having a supersized Superman in the modern day DC costume was pretty cool, I thought. When you pass the center of town, right there is a giant statue of Mothman, or a rendition of him. Now, there's 2 key points here. Mothman, the phenomenon, happened prior to the Silver Bridge collapse. Is there a relationship? Nobody truly knows. The movies did play it up. And has there been sightings since? I really can't say. I don't know. I haven't looked into the phenomenon myself. But it is a very interesting series of events that took place. And right next to the statue and the Low Hotel, you have the Mothman Museum. Now, once we all met at the museum, we went out to past the floodgates, past the flood wall, and that's where we started our day at with the Wild and Weird guys from West Virginia. And one of the things that I wish I would have gone back and paid more attention to was that flood wall, because the murals that are painted there, along with the statues, there's a statue of Davy Crockett with a bunch of history involved, really stood out as far as, you know, the history of the area, which, you know, is not very friendly throughout the years. The amount of battles that happened in the area there at Point Pleasant, the amount of death that happened in the area, and that's not just, you know, when people talk about Mothman or they go to the Silver Bridge, that's what they tend to focus on, not knowing, you know, how many battles and how many lives were lost along this strip of land. And then you get into, the military taking over a good portion of it straight out of town, then relinquishing it. And I said, I wish I would have spent some time going through the murals. We first met the Wild and Weird West Virginia crew while attending OBC 2023. That's the Ohio Bigfoot Conference. And they weren't that far from where we were also investigating in West Virginia. So we started making contact with them. And we would run into them again at Hocking Hills 2023, where they were presenting. Now, from front to back, you have Joe Perdue, who's had a Bigfoot experience in West Virginia while hunting. It's a very detailed experience, and I believe it's been highlighted in Small Town Monsters. Ron Laneham, behind him, is the one who's had UAP experiences. Again, also I believe detailed on Small Town Monsters. And together those two form the Wild and the Weird portion of the Wild and Weird West Virginia name. The next gentleman is Brandon, and Brandon, he brings a sex appeal to the show. What makes Wild and Weird different is that not only do they go out looking for Bigfoot tracks, strange lights in the sky, strange sounds and audibles, strange video, strange thermal, but they also go out and they record measurable data within whatever area that they're experiencing. They also take accounts as well. Doesn't matter, they do the whole shebang, which, from Bigfoot through UAPs to paranormal, you don't really know. Truthfully, you go out and you're investigating a phenomenon, you may very well run into a different phenomenon or yet another phenomenon. It's kind of narrow-sighted just to go out and say it's only this and this and this. And matter of fact, it's not a good viewpoint at all to take, in my estimation, when you go out and you're recording your field, you're taking account of an area, and you're doing an investigation. And that's also very interesting too, that word investigation gets extended into camping. Well, we're out camping, and calling it an investigation while not leaving the campground is kind of bothersome. Or watching individual, or like I did when I could, watching individual lanes through the woods, watching for anything to be moving through a tube or whatever. But bottom line is, they're not just singularly focused. They have a very broad focus, and they're taking into whatever data points they can, recording whatever they can, as well as taking witness testimony, and they're hoping to reach some kind of correlation, which is a fresh take, and as somebody who's going out in the field looking for an explanation, such as I am, that actually truly is the way to go. You've got, as I've repeatedly say, when you go out and you start looking, you have to leave the preconceived notions behind and bring back whatever it is, no matter how out of the box it is. Because it's not really up to you as somebody who's investigating or searching to analyze your own data. That's really supposed to be somebody else's job. In the true world, it is somebody else's job. Biologists go out, they collect, and then they send those collections back to the labs, and the labs do the research. Or field observations, which really is kind of, guess what we're doing is field observations. And that's pretty cool. Now, one thing I need to mention too, in that these guys do have some very credible footage that I've seen. It's credible footage that was captured all in conjunction with another team that's out there. And contrary to the stigmata, the false narrative that's out there, real journalist was with them when they captured some of this material. And that's also very interesting in what they're doing. One thing that did catch me unaware, as they were talking along the strip there, they brought up a situation very similar to what had just happened in the corridor, and very similar to what happened to me in 1990. And it's also has happened to a friend, and I have out west that I talked to a good bit. And it's also happened, actually that happened to 3 people out west. And it's also happened at the site where we've been investigating in West Virginia. So I found that very interesting that we have basically 15, at my last count, 15 people who have experienced the same thing in Florida, West Virginia, Ohio, and Washington State.
Yeah. It was almost like, I know it sounds silly, but I could not believe what we were hearing.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like any show or video that y'all have seen that is like, oh, it's a Bigfoot. I mean, it sounded just like it. It was, I couldn't believe our luck.
Yeah, this would have been one of those times where on camera everybody would have been like, "What the hell was that?" And the ratings would have went through the roof. You know, it would have been that moment.
It was that one.
All of the equipment and camera.
My favorite was the camera guy. My favorite was your camera guy. He was standing there with a professional camera,
Jaw
and
on
he's
the
like
ground.
this. And she's like, was you rolling? And he's like, nah.
Yeah,
But that's the kind of stuff that happens. It happens when you're not looking for it typically. I don't know why.
Bye.